Hello, welcome to Levant TV Headlines. A Human Rights Watch report says insurgent groups in Syria have carried out scores of indiscriminate attacks that have killed and maimed civilians in violation of laws of war. The White House has announced that President Barack Obama will meet with the Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi in Washington on April the 14th to discuss a range of subjects with the Premier, including continued US support to Iraq to fight the Islamic State. UN envoy for Yemen, Jamal bin Omar, has warned an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council that events appear to be leading the Arab country to the edge of a civil war. And in Tunisia, the Prime Minister Habib Assid has fired 6 police commanders, including the head of a tourist security, following last week's attacks on the Bardo Museum. The US and Iran have both spoke of progress towards a deal about Iran's nuclear program, with the deadline for an agreement fast approaching. And now let's take a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting from the UAE, the Khalij Times leads reporting that Houthi fighters opposed to Yemen's president took over the central city of Taiz in an escalation of power struggle. Diplomats say risks growing in Saudi Arabia and Iran. The paper also reports that the UK is now offering a super priority visa service which will turn around visa applications within 24 hours at its application centres in Abu Dhabi and Dubai at an additional cost of £600 sterling or approximately 3,200 dirhams. From Beirut, the Daily Star leads reporting that former Prime Minister Fouad Senoura has begun testifying before the Special Tribunal for Lebanon, recanting to the UN-backed court how Syria's security apparatus used to, quote, subjugate, unquote, Lebanon. The paper also reports that the body of a 14-year-old Syrian boy who went missing in North Lebanon yesterday has been found near a river not far from his home. The Egypt Independent leads reporting that human rights activist says 46 Egyptians have been missing since September when they were illegally traveling to Italy via Libya. Stressing that contact has been completely lost with the missing migrants since then, the paper also reports that prosecution has ordered the arrest and detention of a primary school teacher for 4 days pending investigations for cutting a lock hair from a female student's head. Now let's take a look at top Middle East headlines from papers here in London. The Independent leads Middle East news reporting that the British government has said Israeli settlers are colonizing Palestinian territory under the guise of moving into areas to protect historic archaeological sites. Ministers say they are concerned that the Israeli government agency in charge of preserving historic artifacts is undermining efforts for peace in the region by working with a group of radical settlers. The Telegraph leads Middle East news section reporting that the Barack Obama administration showed no signs of mending fences with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, last night as preparations began in Jerusalem for talks to form of a new coalition government. Despite calls by Reuven Rivlin, Israel's president, to begin a healing process following last week's bitterly divisive election, Mr. Obama has refused to allow Mr. Netanyahu to take back comments apparently ruling out a Palestinian state while he was in power. Also from the UK, The Guardian leads Middle East news reporting that the United Nations Special Envoy for Yemen has warned an emergency meeting of Security Council that events appear to be leading to the Arab country to the edge of a civil war and urged all parties to step back from the brink and resolve the conflict peacefully. Jamal bin Omar, speaking via a video briefing from Qatar, told meeting in New York that peaceful dialogue is the only option we have. Now let's have a look at top Middle East headlines in international papers. From Germany, the Deutsche Welle leads reporting that Yemen's Shiite Houthi rebels have captured a number of strategic sites in the central city, including the airport, airbase and a court complex located some 255 kilometers south of the capital, Sana'a. Taiz provides access to the southern part of Yemen, including the city of Aden, where Western-backed President Abdrabbu Mansour Hadi has fled to and set up base. And finally, from Beijing, China's Global Times reports that Iran's top leader has voiced mistrust of US efforts to reach a nuclear deal, even as Washington and its allies spoke of real progress and urged Tehran to take difficult decisions within just 10 days, remaining until an end of March deadline for a framework agreement. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, denounced US bullying in the negotiations and repeated Tehran's denial that it was seeking to develop a nuclear weapon. For more updates, please visit levant.tv. That was it for today. Bye for now.